All right, so I have tried just about every single flash I can get my hands on, and none of them have felt right. They're either too big or the recharge rate is too slow, but I finally found, I think, the most perfect flash for any street photographer, and I love it so much, it's on my camera every single day. But before we get into that, I'm Velvet Alfredo. I'm a street portrait photographer. I go out into the world and I find interesting and unique people and I snap their photo. And every single one of those photos has a flash. I'm obsessed with that kind of like editorial pop on the street. I use a flash during daylight, which is kind of rare for most people. And so I've been looking for a flash that is easy to use on the street, that has enough power that I can overpower the sun. But at the same time, I need a fast recharge rate because when I approach somebody on the street, I need to snap off like up to 10 photos in under 30 seconds. So I cannot wait for like a 10-second recharge. And I have really struggled. And I started with the Sony a7R5 and this Sony branded TTL flash. This is a speedlight flash. It goes right into the smart hot shoe. And it's really fantastic. It's really, really powerful. If you're a Sony user, and you just need like a really powerful flash that is not like too big, this is a really good flash. And so it's TTL, it's through the lens, and it calculates like what the proper flash output should be based on whatever your exposure is going to be. And it worked for many, many months, but I started to notice over time that my photos, the editorial pop was gone. It kind of averaged out the exposure and made for like a very gentle image as opposed to that like poppy punk rock look that I'm chasing with a flash on the street during the day. And so that started this hunt for like the perfect flash. And I wanted something smaller. I wanted something that I can control the output really easily. I wanted something with a fast recharge rate. And it turns out there are a lot of options out in the world that are affordable, and you could just buy from Amazon. And so I just started buying. And so this is where I started. I went all the way to the other end of the spectrum, and I got the tiniest flash I could find. This is the Reflex mini flash. And it is just this little thing that goes right in the hot shoe, and it has one power setting. You just turn it on and you snap. It's good, but it is not meant for daylight. It is perfect for like if you're in a club or at a party or something like that. You can get that kind of like retro vintage film look with like a little flash here, like a disposable camera look. But it has this other issue that I think if you've ever researched any of these flashes on YouTube, you'll see people talk about this. The hot shoe connection is very light, so it'll just like fall out of your camera. And that's really disappointing because this is cool and this has its own like use case, but the fact that you'll find it on the ground, you'll look down at your camera, you'll see like, where did my flash go? It's laying on the ground. It sucks that way. And it's a shame. But this is a pretty cool flash if you can like tape it onto your camera and just kind of guarantee it's not going anywhere, but it's very low power. It has that very kind of like disposable camera vibe, but it was not what I was looking for. But Reflex Lab makes a few flashes, and so I grabbed their next biggest one. And this one's pretty cool. It has two power settings on the back, full and half, and it even has like a guide number chart on the back. And this is like super helpful. And I don't want to belabor this whole video with like how guide numbers work, but basically, you know, you have to change the output of your flash depending on how close you get to your subject. And this kind of tells you like how many meters away based on your output, based on your ISO. And so this is super helpful. But I found that the problem with this flash is the recharge rate is horrible. It's like 10 seconds. You will snap a photo and you will wait and wait and wait. And I'm not even gonna make you guys wait that long. It will keep going. You're just like, when is this thing gonna recharge? And so it was almost unusable. I just couldn't get it to be something that I could use on the street because I'm just snapping so many photos in such quick succession that half of my photos would be just black images because I'm shooting expecting the flash to fire and it doesn't fire. So this guy was out. But then I started messing around. I was like, well, you know, I'm shooting with a Leica. I shoot with a Leica M11. So maybe I should choose a Leica flash. And I tried this Leica flash. So this is the SF40. This is ungodly expensive. I shouldn't have bought this because it doesn't solve any of my problems. It is smaller than the Sony flash. If you look at this right here, it's smaller. But it is TTL, which is helpful, but I need something that I can trust that the exposure is going to be poppy, and TTL is not going to give me that look because like technically that look is probably overexposed. And I wasn't happy with this. I got good images, but it didn't give me that vibe that I was looking for. and the price bothered me. It takes 4 batteries, which is absurd, and it's kind of heavier than it should be. So this is not a flash I would recommend to anybody. If you're a Leica shooter and you need a flash, don't get this. This is dramatically too expensive, and it is not worth it. So because of the fact that this guy takes 4 batteries, I started thinking, I was like, man, I don't want to deal with batteries all the time. They're expensive, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, why can't there be a rechargeable flash, like a flash that is like USB-C? And Godox has this guy. This is the IM22. It's really cool. You just plug USB-C right here in on the side, and it just charges. It can shoot like 300 to 400 photos, and it's got 5 power settings on the back. And I was like, man, I found it. This is the boy. This is the one I've been looking for. It's tiny. It doesn't look bad on the camera. And I took it out and I started shooting. And the more and more I shot with it, the less confidence I had that I was getting the shot that I wanted. The recharge rate was surprisingly slow. I don't know if that has to do with the fact that it has some kind of like lithium ion rechargeable battery in here for USB-C, but the recharge rate was like not awesome. I was kind of always shooting at the highest power setting to overpower like sunlight conditions. And over the course of a few days of shooting, I kind of like just like abandoned it because I couldn't trust. I was getting so many frames where the flash just had not recharged yet and just didn't fire. And it was really disappointing. But I had high hopes because like this is conceptually what I'm looking for. And I hope that one day I can find a USB-C rechargeable flash that is about this size that will work better. But this guy was not it. But by the time I got to the Godox universe, I was like, all right, so Godox makes a handful of flashes. Let me get into it. And that's where I found the one we're going to talk about today. This is, in my opinion, the most perfect flash for street photography that I have ever used. It's the Godox IM30. It's this little guy right here. It's incredible. It looks great on the camera, by the way, right? So this guy right here is powered by 2 AAA batteries. And at first that was a downside, but then I went into this whole other universe of rechargeable batteries, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But this guy has so many different power settings. You can go from full all the way down to 1/64th. So there's split levels too. So it goes like full, then there's a notch, then half, then a notch, then a quarter, then an eighth, then a 16th, then a 32, 64. It's awesome. I routinely shoot this at around 1/4 flash power out on the street. And it's incredible. It's fantastic. It overpowers the sun. The recharge rate is incredibly fast. Like, I never miss a shot. Like, it is always ready to go. And if for some reason, if I'm like fighting some like really powerful light, or often shadows that are cutting across people's faces, and I want to kind of like eliminate them or at least average them out a little bit, I can go up to a half or a full, and the recharge rate is fantastic. And the cool part is that it kind of like opened up my mind to the idea of rechargeable AAA batteries. These are the Eneloop Pros. Panasonic makes these, but I just treat these the way I would treat any lithium ion battery. I just use them, and then I plug them into their little charger, put them in the wall, and they're ready for me the next day. I have a handful of these, and I just rotate through them. You get about 300 to 400 shots out of this flash at full power, so I'm always ready. Like, I'm never shooting at full power, or very rarely. There's always flash power for me, and it's insanely reliable, and it's so tiny, and it's so easy to use compared to a traditional speedlight. I know another street photographer, his name's Tyler McRae, and he used this too. He was walking down the street here in Charlotte, and he shoots on an M6, and I looked at it, I was like, oh my God, you got the flash. And he's like, yeah, man, he loves it. He just absolutely loves this flash as well. And it's just, if you're a street photographer and you need a flash, like, this is the guy. Like, stop looking. I found it. It's this one, the Godox IM30. So I recommend go buy this thing. There's a link in the description below. It's an Amazon link. If you want to support the channel, click that link and buy it. I would really appreciate it. But thanks for watching. I'm a street photographer that uses a flash every single day. If you like this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, because I'm trying to make videos every single day here, talking about my gear, talking about my process, and I'd love to have you. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.